The Joint Anti-Terrorism Task Force and Territorial Police in Buyende District apprehend UPDF deserter. 5 suspects in the murder of Ndiga clan head charged at Mwanga 2 court in Kampala. While Minister Ogwang, elated by performances, commits government support towards sports.
Story number 1.
UBC News tonight. Welcome aboard, and this is what we have for you. Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has mourned the passing of an ardent NRM supporter, the late Hajat Sarah Nantambi, mother to the Kalungu District NRM chairperson Haji Chiganda Sonko. In her message delivered at Bugonzi village in Kalungu District, Nabanja said that the NRM government has made several interventions aiming at socio-economic transformation all over the country.
Programs aimed at fighting household poverty. Nabanja says that when a person supports NRM, benefits a lot, and asks all the people to continue supporting the mighty party.
Njagala RDC ebyokusaaga mubirekera. Esente z'abantu bazibawe. Twabawa milioni 10 omwaka ogwawedde, tugenda bongera milioni 10 omwaka guno. 5 gatutse dda ku account. Mama waffe gyagenze, ffenna gye tukola ki? Era njagala okusaba family eno Sebo Haji beera mugumu. NRM weeri tetusobola kukuyiwa.
The Supreme Mufti of Uganda, His Eminence Sheikh Muhammad Galabuz, asked the public to desist from hatred.
Amwe motoka na uli amalonza agatali malungi wena gani abajimuwadde ajja kubeera awo oyayogera bulungi ndosolaba abantu banne temukosa bannammwe olw'ebirungi bye bakoze eki bafunye.
The NRM Secretary General, Right Honorable Richard Twadong, also joined the people of Kalungu to mourn the passing away of a pillar in the party. In his message delivered by the Director, Finance and Administration, Hajat Madina Naham, offered her heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family.
On behalf of the NRM party and on my own behalf, we offer our heartfelt condolences and stand with the entire family at this time and share in grief as we mourn our mama.
Vincent Sempija, the Minister for Defence and Veteran Affairs, joined mourners at the burial and described the death as a tragedy.
Twawulidde ennaku nnyingi okuwulira nga muli maziga. Nategedde ku makya nnyo era kitalo nnyo.
Haji Twaha Chiganda Sonko, the elder son to late Nantambi, described his late mother as a person who had love for the people. Chiganda broke down when he asked whoever was demanding any money from his mother to come out publicly so that such a debt can be cleared.
Wabayo omuntu yenna ng'abadde abanja mama wange sente kwegayiridde tundava wano ojja jagala.
Late Hajat Sarah Nantambi died at the age of 63 and survived by a widower, children and grandchildren.
The Director, NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, is optimistic of NRM party's victory in the Dokolo woman MP seat by elections slated for the 21st of March. She said that the NRM has mobilized from the grassroots to canvass votes for their candidate, Janet Adongo Elau, to sweep votes. She was in an exclusive interview with UBC in Dokolo town shortly after the nominations.
As a party, we have presented our candidate to the Electoral Commission, and the Electoral Commission has successfully nominated our candidate. I want to tell the people of Uganda, the NRM supporters, that as far as we are concerned, we are going to win this election. We have mobilized quite enough, and we are going to continue mobilizing until the 21st. So I want to congratulate our dear sister, Adong, Dong Jane for this successful nomination. We are going to start, we have already started our journey, and we have no doubt that by the 21st, this election is going to be won by the NRM party. His Excellency the President, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who's also the chairman of the NRM party, has done quite a lot for this region. And I don't see a reason why the people of Lango, particularly Dokolo, will fail to vote for NRM. There has been peace ushered in this region, but most of all, the flagship programs of NRM that have supported the socio-economic development of our people. When we look at the PDM, I have already gotten, I've got a list of the people who have benefited already. They are almost coming to 10,000 in Dokolo alone. So to us, that is a great achievement. For these 2.5 years we have been in power for, the NRM government is in power for this term. I think that is a great achievement. So the people of Dokolo must remember that is NRM government in power, NRM party in power. So there is no reason why they should vote for somebody who is not going to work with the NRM government. Ma'am Imad Cecilia Ogwal, may her soul rest in peace, was supported because she had her own personality. And she was supported not because she was FDC. They used to support her as a person in her persona, because of her personality. But now that she's no more, the people of Dokolo must vote for the right person who will be able to deliver and support them and raise their issues in Parliament and represent them well. The candidate we have presented to the people of Dokolo is the right candidate who will be able to fit in the shoes of the late Member of Parliament, but in addition, they will not regret. Because the people of Uganda must remember, and particularly the people of Dokolo, that everything that is decided in Parliament first starts in the NRM caucus. And if somebody is not sitting in the NRM caucus, may not add a lot of value to the people of Dokolo. So if they vote for this lady, the NRM candidate, I want to assure them she will be able to add the voice to the two members who are representing Dokolo so that they can be able to achieve what they want.
So far, I'm excited to be nominated and meet the requirements for the Electoral Commission. And among the things that I'm going to handle or to be able to work to do, my manifesto mainly talks about health issues. In Dokolo district, we don't have a district hospital.
The Joint Anti-Terrorism Task Force, in coordination with the Territorial Police in Buyende District, have apprehended Ndalike Hassan, a UPDF deserter, for aiding ADF rebel activities within the region. Hassan is suspected to have been mobilizing and recruiting youngsters into ADF camps and sneaking them into Congo.
The Joint Anti-Terrorism Task Force, together with the Territorial Police in Buyende, arrested Ndalike Hassan, the UPDF deserter, upon suspicion for recruiting and trafficking young children into ADF camps in Congo for the past 8 years.
Now, this Ndalike Hassan is alleged to have sneaked into the country around February 2024 and had threatened to attack concert goers and revelers at a music show in Ikanda sub-county that is in Buyende district. The suspect was, of course, arrested.
In enhanced operations against terror activities, security in Serere and Kampala Metropolitan arrested 3 suspects over possession of UPDF stores. These are accused of using these areas to commit crimes, especially on major highways.
In Chira Central Division, that is where police at CPS Jinja also arrested 3 suspects, namely Mugarra Amos, Balayo Derek, and Banjira Emmanuel, for being in possession of military uniforms with the rank of lieutenant. These ones were found in possession of these uniforms while driving and was actually arrested and charged for being in possession of UPDF uniforms.
In Kabongo district, Joint security agencies have embarked on investigating the circumstances under which the National Platform mobilizer Lochoto Ambrose was shot dead. This was during an operation against Karamajongo armed warriors.
Getting armed suspected warriors who had raided cattle from Kakamar sub-county. Intelligence of the raid, our joint security forces started laying ambushes and other teams were aggressively pursuing. Now it was during that aggressive pursuit, coupled with the ambushes that were laid, that Lochoto Ambrose allegedly entered into the laid ambush of our joint forces at around midnight, and he was shot and fatally wounded.
Meanwhile, upon receiving complaints from the public of extortion of money to access CCTV footage, police management has issued guidelines and circumstances under which a person can access this footage.
The CCTV footages in criminal cases are free of charge and are not supposed to be paid for.
When I reached the police and I reported the case, they wrote it, and on inquiring from them if we could visit the cameras so that we could trace those thugs, they asked me 400.
And all requests for the release of data information in CCTV must be channeled through the OCCID, the divisional CID, the district CID, the regional CID officer.
Some police officers have put a price for someone to access the CCTV footage during investigations. This has deprived victims of justice due to limited substantial evidence. Abdul Nasir Lukomwa and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
Five suspects in the murder case of the Ndiga clan head, the late engineer Daniel Bosa, have been charged at Mwangatu Court in Kampala. The five, including Lujan Noah, who was receiving treatment at Mulago Hospital following mob actions after charges were later remanded to Luzira prisons.
Security was briefed at Mwangatu Magistrates Court as the five suspects behind the murder of Ndiga clan head, late engineer Daniel Bosa Lukomwa, were appearing at court. The accused were limping, others with injuries and in tears, with Lujanua, the key suspect in this matter on chains, who was receiving treatment, were walked to court cells by security. At 11:30 a.m., the accused Lujanua, aged 21 years, a resident of Katanga village, Ariet Nachiguli, aged 47 years, a resident of Kawempe, Nakabale Joseph, aged 47 years, a resident of Galani Mpigi district, Mayanja Ezra, aged 44 years, a resident of Kawempe, and Naluwende Mire, aged 46 years, secretary to the Kisekwa Karicho Court of Buganda, were walked in court. Before Senior Principal Magistrate Adams Bialugaba, court charged them with one count of murdering Ndiga clan head engineer Daniel Lukomwa. Prosecution led by Caroline Mpwimwile told court that inquiries into the case are still ongoing and needed more time, which court granted. Due to lack of jurisdiction to handle the capital offense against the accused, Magistrate Adams Bialugaba remanded the accused to Luzira Government Prison till April 11th. The Ndiga clan head engineer Daniel Bosa Lukomwa was murdered at Lunguja Chikandwa village, a Kampala suburb. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break.
Fred! Osmosis. Freddy! Fred! My boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Have you packed more with Harbour Jelly and Harbour Foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More with pack. It is a new improved more with Harbour Jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a more with Harbour Jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Harbour Jelly and Harbour Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit, all day confidence.
Hi, Fifi. How are you?
I'm fine. Baby, whenever I eat chips and chicken, I feel stomachache, joint pain, and body weakness.
My dear, go to Timex Nutrition Center and learn the best food for your body. And get treatment according to your blood group.
Are you sure?
Yes.
By the way, do you know your blood group, genotype, and how much you need to exercise? Come to Timex Nutrition Center for professional advice on how to manage your health and immune boosting. At Timex, we treat diseases like diabetes, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, pressure, and many more. For details, find us at our headquarters in Kampala on Nasa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor. We also have a branch in Barara, or call us on 0758 819952 or 0778 288361. Timex, be your own doctor.
Attention everyone. The Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole, and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective, and free of charge and has been approved by World Health Organization and Ministry of Health. This message is from Ministry of Health with support from Gavi.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish Development Model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
UBC News tonight. Nominations for candidates in Dokolo district by-elections have kicked off, like we reported in one of our stories at the beginning of the bulletin. The first day showed 6 candidates who were nominated on various political party tickets, including that of NRM, FDC, UPC, the National Unity Platform, and 2 independent candidates. According to the returning officer, Dokolo Ngobi Erikwaine, the nominations will close tomorrow, Tuesday, 12th March, and 7 aspirants have picked nomination forms.
It was a busy day in Dokolo district as candidates to replace the former woman MP who died, Cecilia Ogwal, get nominated for the by-elections. The NRM candidate Janet Adongo Elau was the first to be nominated at 10 a.m. and the candidate says she is ready to face the race to represent Dokolo women.
This is a journey that we've started today with a lot of happiness. What I know that when I'm elected to the parliament to represent the people of Dokolo, I would like to continue with what some of the activities that the Mama was doing. One of it was we were following up about the district hospital.
The NRM candidate was escorted by the Director Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, who pledged support from the party.
If the right candidate will be able to fit in the shoes of the late member of parliament, but in addition, they will not regret. Because the people of Uganda must remember, and particularly the people of Dokolo, that everything that is decided in parliament first starts in the NRM caucus. And if somebody is not sitting in the NRM caucus, may not add a lot of value to the people of Dokolo. So
the second candidate to be nominated was an independent Akulo Esther Obot, who was nominated at about 2 p.m. after her supporters had no national identity cards.
As you can see, there's been a lot of anxiety. We came in very early, but it was just a small glitch because of some technicalities between the institutions, but that has been resolved very well, and I want to thank the Electoral Commission Office.
The third candidate to be nominated was the FDC candidate and daughter to late Cecilia Ogwal, who seemed ready with her late mother's legacy.
Consultations have been positive, and I have therefore been duly nominated.
FDC candidate was nominated in the presence of the party president, Patrick Amuriat Oboy.
We present to the people of Dokolo a formidable candidate, somebody who is tested.
UPC candidate Sarah Nyangori was the fourth to be nominated.
It's contested, and we're ready to carry our flag across Dokolo and wait to hear on the 21st that UPC has succeeded.
As Dokolo, I've been moving in Dokolo. I've been picking the problems of the people.
National Unity Platform candidate Harriet Ageno Roth was the fifth to be nominated at 3:30 p.m. in the presence of her acting president Lina Zedgar, and says she stands for the women of Dokolo.
Take this mantle. I've always said that I am a servant leader. I have come to serve the people of Dokolo. Yes.
Dr. Sarah Lalama was the last candidate to be nominated on the day one of nominations at about 4 p.m. as an independent candidate. Campaigns starts on Thursday, March 14th. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Dokolo.
The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, Mwanga Chivumbi, has invoked the powers of the High Court and summoned the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Lands and Urban Development to appear on the 26th of March to give accountability of the queries in the Auditor General's report. The committee chased out officials of the ministry who had appeared, headed by the Undersecretary Richard Juko, and directed CID to accompany them, retrieve a management letter from the Auditor General, internal audit, and annexed to their financial statement.
The chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, Mwanga Chivumbi, called officials from the Ministry of Lands to appear before the committee to answer queries in the Auditor General's report, despite receiving a letter requesting to postpone the sittings since the Permanent Secretary was not in the country. Officials led by the Undersecretary, Minister of Lands, Juko Richard, appeared, and the committee members questioned their capacity to account for the money in the Auditor General's report. The discussion was on whether to proceed with the meeting or not. Some MPs said these have wasted their time. MPs emphasized that under the Public Finance Management Act, the accounting officer will be personally accountable to the Parliament of Uganda.
When they came to my office, I ordered them to appear for a meeting called, which I could not adjourn.
We are constrained to continue without the accounting office.
Chair and members, we've lost on time. Monday is a day that some of us would have spent in our constituencies. Before us have no capacity to respond as a responsibility of the accounting officer, but Chair, for me, it's a sign of negligence on the part of our colleagues.
Procedure right to continue when we know they don't have that authenticity, they are not so authentic to answer what we are raising to them. Self-defeating for us to entertain the responses, the deliberations with this entity without the accounting officer.
The chairperson of the committee said out of the over 100 billion shillings the ministry received from government financial year 2022-2023, only 11 billion was audited.
Audited amount of money for this entity before us is only 11 billion out of 100. Less than, and when you go to details, less than 10%. Need an internal audit report because you have only 10%. And you are not surrendering these documents at will. You are walking away from here to your office with the CID to retrieve the following documents without you auditing: a management letter, internal audit, and the annexes I've talked about.
According to Mwanga Chivumbi, this is one of the entities that has availed the Auditor General with small details in the responses.
Under normal circumstances, I'm now invoking powers of the High Court of this committee to summon this accounting officer on 26th. I will not hear that she traveled, she went everywhere, she will be under criminal summons.
I'm Navka Farida and Dan Lukomwa at Parliament.
Members of the Parliamentary Forum on Fisheries have urged the Minister for Fisheries to come up with a comprehensive fisheries regulation to address the issues facing the industry of fisheries as a whole. While addressing the press at Parliament, they expressed dissatisfaction with the way the Minister is introducing the regulations, which they say is a piecemeal manner and only worsens the situation in the industry.
Parliament passed the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act, and the President assented to it. It's now like a year, but the regulations to implement this law have not yet been put in place by the Ministry of Fisheries. Members of Parliamentary Forum on Fisheries say the way the regulations are being implemented is piecemeal. The Member of Parliament, Buvuma Island, Robert Migade Ndugwa, says the chota-chota method of fishing that the Minister is advocating for will lead to reduction from the normal 28 feet to 20 feet.
We have seen the fishers of silverfish, where the Minister issued directives that we should go for what they call chota-chota. And by implication, this will also mean reducing the size of boats. And going by the current fishing regulations, which was supposed to be tabled before Parliament, the minimum size of boat that should be used is 28 feet. So what the Minister is actually recommending, using the chota-chota method, that means the minimum size of boat may now become 20 feet. So it is unacceptable in the current regulations.
The regulation of the fishing holiday needs to be brought to the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture to discuss and approve. The Shadow Minister for Fisheries says the Line Minister should tell fishermen what fishing gears to use in the chota-chota method of fishing.
We are trying to see that, when we see that we are trying to persuade our fishermen, the silverfish fishermen, from the hurry-up method to the new chota-chota method, the Minister has to come up and clearly tells the public on which fishing gears should be used, inclusive of the boats. Because now when you introduce this new method, it means that there are so many things that are going to change in this new method. And that's why we are telling the Minister to also come up and clearly bring the regulations as they are supposed to be. We shall not allow the Minister to come up on every day bringing up one regulation, yet there are so many fishing methods on the lake.
Member of Parliament Wikwe, Lulumeba Iga, says the regulations that the Minister is going on to implement have not been tabled and no consultations done.
To consult
she needs to consult on the regulations, which she has not crafted. She has not tabled them anywhere. And if at all we see the minister implementing or directing something, it is not in law. While she has the power, that power should be derived from regulations, and which we said in the law. Those regulations must be discussed. They must be debated by Parliament, and we must ensure that our input as people's representative counts.
Member of Parliament Naluima wanted to know the ownership of the land at the lakes and who demarcates and issues land titles. Mariona Wari and Namfuka Farida for UBC.
The National Resistance Movement Deputy Secretary General has commenced the crucial task of assessing register preparedness in Kampala, a prelude to a nationwide inspection. Beginning her journey in Nansana, she addressed pertinent issues essential for ensuring a seamless registration process. With visits to Nansana, Kampala Central and Kawempe, her efforts signify a concerted drive towards efficient organization and implementation.
Honorable Namayanja Rose Nsireko stated that President Museveni had emphasized the necessity of registering new fighters to strengthen the party's base.
We shall have meetings at district levels, training the sub-county registrars who are going to be tasked to train the parish, the parish and village registrars. And I want to confirm that in all the districts, over 90% of the districts, meetings are taking place to ensure that this process is done and to ensure that they verify all the materials that were received the other week.
Workers officials were urged to expedite the registration process at every center due to concerns that delays may affect preparations for the 2026 general elections.
And then tomorrow, they will be carrying out training of the parish and village registrars. So we feel the exercise is moving on well, and we have been able to task our registrars to be committed, to be transparent, to be honest, and to ensure that we produce a credible register that will be verified and acceptable by all our members.
In Kampala Central, officials including the mayor and his deputy were engaged in ensuring smooth operations.
The most problem we have been facing, we as NRM, was our primaries. That was where the divisions were coming out. When you do not have a clean election, and they were declaring people who never went through, that is where the trouble comes from. But now, I've cautioned the registrar, my registrar here, and the admin, we need equity, we need honest people, we need members who are actual members of NRM.
Mayor Uhuru Salim reiterated the importance of maintaining order during this exercise.
After the moon sighting as a sign to the holy month of Ramadan, the Muslim faith as today is the first day has gone through today as their first day of fasting. We bring you the reasons why one should fast and what should be done in the flock as explained by Sheikh Ali Aluma and Sheikh
Brothers and sisters in Islam, I would like to tell you that fasting is not a punishment of Allah wa ta'ala to the believers. No. Remember, Allah told us that even before us, people were fasting. People were doing good things before us. So we should also embrace fasting, especially in this holy month of Ramadan.
Utilize your period. You must utilize this time. You must make sure that you benefit out of this month of Ramadan, whereby this month of Ramadan is a month of blessing. It's the month of forgiveness. It's the month that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you with Jannah. And all this is very important. How do you now get all this? You need blessings of Allah, because in one of the hadith, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that the first 10 is rahmah, blessing from Allah. The second 10 days is full of maghfirah, forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third, the last 10 days is al-itqu min an-nar. Majorly, it's that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stamps, takes you away from hellfire.
Fasting has so many benefits to our health. We decrease fats from our bodies. We also sharpen our brain. You find that a person who is fasting cannot think like a person who is not fasting. A person who is fasting cannot have health like a person who is not fasting. So we should embrace fasting, and we should not be forced to fast. We should love our Allah. It is a command from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Secondly, if you fast, you get a lot of rewards from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Remember, in Hadith al-Quds, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala told us that fasting is the one to give reward for those people who are fasting the month of Ramadan.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim Community UK hosted the 18th National Peace Symposium at the Baitul Fatuh Mosque in London. It was attended by senior members of parliament, faith leaders, business and diplomatic communities, and representatives from over 20 countries. They called for unity of all nations.
One of the notable features of the Peace Symposium is the Ahmadiyya Muslim Peace Prize. In a keynote address, the head of Ahmadiyya community, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, emphasized the need for nations to exercise justice to avoid global conflict.
13 out of 15 members of the UN Security Council voted in favor of an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. The United States utilized its veto power, and the resolution was defeated. How can peace be established where the majority view is so easily discarded? That is not justice. It is the need of the time that we must focus all our energies and efforts on establishing true peace so that we may live in a world of hope and prosperity rather than a world defined by inequality, hatred, and bloodshed.
The symposium was conducted on the theme Building a Sustainable Peace.
The Ahmadiyya community could be excellent example for everybody, leading the way towards understanding. If we don't accept this path for peace, we will kill each other.
Holiness mentioned, we are almost at a breaking point. The United Nations and other organizations which were supposed to safeguard, they're breaking apart because the interest who can control through their veto power are not doing the duty towards the humanitarian causes, but instead of using that veto power to further the conflict.
His Holiness was brave in saying what he said in the way that he said it, and what he said is true. There's only one way forward, and that's through love and compassion and reaching out and bravery.
I think this is much needed, and the message is very clear for peace and harmony worldwide. It's not for one community. I think His Holiness covered everything.
The 18th National Peace Symposium was a platform for discussions and calls to action for peace, uniting diverse communities in a shared vision for a harmonious.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200K to stock my shop. the signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hustle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? Wesotinge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Have you packed more with Harbour jelly and Harbour foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More with pack. It is a new improved more with Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a more with Harbour jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Harbour Jelly and Harbour Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit all day confidence. Special announcement. The Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, NRM, informs party members and the entire public that the membership registration exercise will run from Wednesday 13th to Sunday the 17th of March 2024. You are therefore requested to go to your branches or villages to participate in the display, update, and registration of your details. Those confirmed dead, left the area, or crossed to other political parties should be publicly deleted from the register, while the new residents and those who have come of age be added. Please note that every member must show up in person, and only registered individuals will participate in the internal party structure elections and party primaries. UBC Business News Tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Diamond Trust Bank Uganda and UAP Old Mutual Insurance have entered a partnership to deliver general and medical insurance products and services to different customers. The partnership will make DTB a one-stop center for both banking and insurance services in the two partner companies' quest to drive insurance deepening and inclusion.
Some of the products and services which will be offered through DTB Uganda include motor comprehensive insurance, medical insurance, travel insurance, and domestic package for homes, among others. The products will be tailored on customers' needs, hence variation of premiums based on coverage.
We're confident that this collaboration will drive value for our customers and stakeholders. And looking ahead, we're excited about the opportunities that this bank partnership represents for business growth and market presence.
This is going to be a one-stop, shopping center for our customers. The customers are going to enjoy the convenience to, get all these, financial services, that is insurance and the banking services, through the DTB or Diamond Trust, bank branches.
At the signing ceremony, Diamond Trust Bank Managing Director Vagez Thambi said the collaboration marks a milestone to the bank's commitment to address evolving needs of its clientele. Stakeholders urged Ugandans to embrace insurance products and services as a cornerstone for business and economic stability, which saves clientele risks of losing investments.
Now today, what is happening? Insurance, only it is getting pushed because of mandatory requirements. When someone takes loan, the asset has to be insured. It is not optional. But from that level, time has come for all of us to take insurance from optional to mandatory.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is collaborating with the African Union Inter-Africa Bureau for Animal Resources to streamline the feed and fodder subsector. The aim is to bring together all stakeholders in the feed and fodder sector so that there is a linkage amongst all players.
Livestock is an important subsector to Uganda's economy since it provides opportunities for income generation, employment, improved food and nutrition security to households. However, for livestock production to be sustained, there is need for sufficient feed and fodder, especially in this era of climate change. Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries is collaborating with African Union Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources to streamline the feed and fodder subsector.
The status of feed and fodder, not only in Uganda but in Africa, has been assessed last year by the AU, and we realized that there were gaps. The value chain is very disintegrated. We have people playing various roles along the value chain, but they are not together. So the status is that we are there as Ugandans, we are producing feed, but the value chain is disintegrated. The stakeholders are not working together. And that way, then the value chain is not functioning.
There is a deficit in as far as our fodder balance sheet is concerned. We import almost 3 times more than what we produce, which is really surprising considering the endowment, the rainfalls that we receive, the fertile soils that we have. We wouldn't be really in this state whereby we are ending up importing more feeds than we are exporting.
According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Uganda has a big potential to satisfy national and regional demand for feed and fodder only if the sector is organized.
When you look at the current situation we have in Uganda, we have enough feed resources, but where the location of these resources is also a factor. You find that in one region of the country there is enough, and in another region of the country there is not enough. What is required here? How can we produce enough and get from those areas that have enough, and we satisfy those areas that do not have enough?
The Resilient African Feed and Fodder Systems project by African Union Inter-African Bureau for Animal Resources will support country priorities aimed at improving the feed and fodder subsector.
The Dairy Development Authority has lauded dairy processors for their pivotal role in transforming the dairy sector, thereby significantly increasing the country's dairy export revenues through value addition. Uganda presently boasts an annual milk production exceeding 3.8 billion litres, a substantial portion of which undergoes processing and is subsequently exported as UHT and yogurt to foreign markets.
Dr. Ahimbisiwe Moses, manager of the Dairy Development Authority Southwestern Region, underscores the profound impact of dairy processing factories on Uganda's economy.
Value addition also helps to improve on the nutritional value of the milk, because during the value addition you can adjust the nutrients accordingly such that also we have more nutritious products. And it also helps to milk to reach out to other areas. For example, if raw milk is processed here, a lot of it, you add value, you make yogurt, or you make UHT or milk powder, you can distribute it even to other areas.
Human Resource Manager at Lakeside Dairies, Ayebale Sylvia, emphasizes products from processed milk, including UHT, cheese, and yogurt.
We added more depots, like in Kampala, we added more depots. We added on exports. Currently, we are exporting more milk, and people locally are now taking much of processed milk compared to the previous years.
The processing facilities are sources of employment.
When production increases, that means we have to add more workers. Yeah, so we added on the number of workers. In January, we had 250 workers, but currently we have over 350 workers, and we added more machines like crate washing machines. We added production machines.
The increased tax revenue generated from these ventures facilitated infrastructure development and improved the living standards of employees.
Try and consume processed milk products, because what will encourage people also to go more into value addition is if market is there for these products. Are we consuming these products? Are we consuming yogurt, for example? Do we consume pasteurized milk or UHT?
However, farmers are cautioned against milk adulteration. The Dairy Development Authority acknowledges the invaluable contributions of milk processors.
And when milk is processed or value is added to it, then there are so many benefits that come with it. One of them is improving the quality and safety of the milk, because when the milk is processed, then its quality and safety is improved. Because during processing, some of the microorganisms are denatured or they are killed.
Milk processors have enhanced the value of Uganda's dairy products to bolster the nation's economic growth. Sudat Kaye and Ambrose Muhumuza, UBC News.
Sports news tonight. State Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang has released Uganda's performance at the 13th Africa Games in Ghana, at which 7 medals have been won. John Barnes Sentamu has this in details.
Ghana is turning out to be a good one, with 7 medals already collected. The badminton duo of Husna Kobugabe and Gladys Mbabazi under coach William Kabindi won the doubles gold, with Kobugabe adding the singles silver medal.
Right now, they are on their way to France for French Open. If they play well and gather more points, they're better. And after that, they will be in Spain and then Switzerland. So these points that they are gathering will help us at least to brighten our chances for Olympics.
Youngster Fadila Shamika finished with a bronze, as did swimmer Gloria Muzito, while weightlifter Davis Nyoita has 2 silvers and a bronze.
Kati nasobola okubanga ndaba zino empaka zabadde ku Africa nga ndasobola okuwanguliramu, nasobola okukkirako wansi nasobola okuwanguliramu emidaala egy'esatu. Era nazanyidde mu kategole ya 55, naye nga nzanya kategole za mirundi 2. Kati Olympic category eri 61 yeyina kilo ennyingi za kilo toto za kilo 222. Naye kakati waneeno kyanyongeddemu okubanga nasobola okukola historical site eno, kubanga nasobola okwongeramuko amaanyi, kubanga gino emidaala gye nawangudde gye midaala egigenda okuba gibadde gisookeddwako okubanga Uganda egyewangula, kubanga bwaba mujjukirako Ekubozi Baire yawangula emidaala egya bronze Rabat, nali naye neze namalira mu kifo kyali kyakuna, ne ku luno kubanga nsobola okuwangula mu kifo ekyokubiri, era nga kimpadde essanyu ly'amaanyi n'okubanga nkuloyogera okusitula eggwanga lyange waggulu.
State Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang applauds the team's overall performance and reiterates government commitment.
I can assure you what you're seeing here, in a few years you will see it in Kampala, physically in Nugogo. So I want to commend the team for winning us gold. Like as government, this is one of the most priority games, African games, Olympic games and Commonwealth games. Those are 3 priority games which we consider as government. So for that purpose, me, I'm challenged now to begin looking at resources, particularly for these children who have won medals here. The president has been very candid. Those who win bronze medals here have $1 million as a stipend. Those who win silver have $3 million as a stipend. Those who win gold have $5 million as a stipend. So that we are already beginning to plan for it. Fortunately, the new law, which was assented to by the president, gives reward recognition. So these monies we now have, we will go back to Parliament to ask for.
Uganda has more than 150 athletes from the African Games from 17 disciplines, including basketball, cricket and handball.
That brings us to the end of the first edition of News Tonight. We'll have another one at 10 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Let's catch you then. Bye-bye.